So let us take few more question and answers of operating systems. First is define the dynamic loading. What is dynamic loading? To obtain better memory space utilization, dynamic loading is used. With dynamic loading, a routine is not loaded until it is called. It is loaded only when it is called. So all routines they are kept in the stable storage or you can say on disk in a relocatable load format. So the main program is loaded into the memory and it is executed. So if the routine needs another routine, the calling routine checks whether the routine has been loaded. If it is not, then you have already the routines in relocatable load format. So the relocatable linking loader is called to load the desired program into the memory. Next comes define dynamic linking. Define dynamic linking. Dynamic linking is similar to the dynamic loading. Rather than loading being postponed until the execution time, here the linking is postponed until the execution time. So this feature is usually used with the system libraries such as the language subroutine libraries. A stub is included in the image for each library routine reference, and that stub is a small piece of code that indicates how to locate the appropriate memory resident library's routine or how to load the library if the routine is not already present. Then what are overlays? Overlays. So the overlays is to just to enable a process to be larger than the amount of memory allocated to it. Overlays are used. The idea of overlays is to keep in memory only those instructions and data that are needed at a given time. Only keep those in memory, those instructions and data that are needed at a given time. So when other instructions are needed, they are loaded into the space which were occupied previously by instructions that are no longer needed. So these are the overlays. Define swapping. What is swapping? Swapping is exchange. Simple swapping as we learned in our C and programming classes, x to y, y to x. So the process needs to be in memory to be executed. If it is not there, it will not be executed. So it has to be bought into the memory. However, a process can be swapped temporarily out of memory to the backing store, that is the disk, and then brought back into the memory for continued execution. This process is swapping. If you see the various states of a process, it can be new, it can be running, it can be terminated, or it can be blocked, waiting for some input output IO. So IO input output waiting, then it can be sent to the backing store if it is not required, and can be again bought if this input output is completed to the ready busy waiting. So what do you mean by best fit? Best fit is what? Best fit allocates the smallest hole that is big enough. That means the leftover space needs to be smallest. So the entire list has to be searched unless it is sorted by size, which is not often the case. So this strategy produces the smallest leftover hole. This is best fit. What do you mean by first fit? The first space big enough to accommodate it is been given or provided. So first fit allocates the first hole that is big enough. Searching can either start at the beginning of the set of holes or where the previous first fit search has ended. So searching can be stopped as soon as a free hole that is big enough to hold is found. Next question is, how is memory protected in a paged environment? You are aware of the base register and the register base, you add offset to the base. So the protection bits, these are associated with each frame which are accomplished. Which each frame accomplished memory protection is a page environment. So this is how the protection bits are employed to protect the memory in the page environment. So the protection bits can be checked to verify that no writes are being made to the read-only page. Protection bits. What is now the external fragmentation? External fragmentation exists when the enough total memory space exists to satisfy a request, but it is not contiguous. Means you have enough space in memory to fulfill the requirement, but they are not contiguous. They are not contiguous. So storage is fragmented into a large number of small holes. This is external fragmentation. What is internal fragmentation then? When the allocated memory may be slightly larger than the requested memory, when the allocated memory may be slightly larger than the requested memory, the difference between these two numbers is the internal fragmentation. These are also known as the leftover spaces. What do you mean by compaction? Compaction. Compaction is a solution to our external fragmentation. Means the holes, they are there to fulfill the requirement, but they are just scattered or scrambled. So the memory contents are shuffled to a place. All free memory are together bought in one large block. So it is possible only if relocation is dynamic and which is done at the execution time. What are pages and frames? What are pages and frames? Paging is a memory management scheme. Paging, memory management scheme that permits the physical address space of a process to be non-contiguous. Physical address space of a process to be non-contiguous. So in case of paging, physical memory is broken or divided into fixed size blocks, which is known as the frames, and the logical memory is broken, again decomposed into the blocks of the same size called page. So the logical memory into pages, the physical memory into frames. Next is, what is the use of valid or invalid bits in paging? V and I in paging. So when the bit is set to valid, this value indicates that the associated page is in the is in the process's logical address space, and thus it is a legal page. When it is valid, if V is assigned to a page, it is in logical address space and is therefore legal page. But if the bit is set to be invalid, that is I is associated with the page, this value indicates that the page is not in the process's logical address space, and that is it is not right now the legal page. So using this valid invalid bit, it trap any illegal addresses. What is the basic method of segmentation? Segmentation is again the memory management scheme as paging is, that supports the user's view of memory. So a logical address space is a collection of segments. The logical address consists of segment number and the offset. Segment number and the offset. So if the offset is legal, it is added to the segment base to produce the address in the physical memory of the desired byte. Now we have a question: a program containing relocatable code was created, assuming it would be located at address 0. Let us start with 0. In its code, the program refers to the following addresses: 50, 78, 150, 152, 154. If the program is loaded into memory starting at location 250, how do those addresses have to be adjusted? The answer is, because all the addresses need to be adjusted upward to 50, which is the memory starting at location 250. So we can adjust it by adding 250 to all of these, and these will be these values. We have just added 50 to these values. What is a virtual memory? Virtual memory is a technique that allows the execution of process that may not be completely in memory. It is not in memory. Process needs to be in memory to allow them to be executed by get the CPU burst time. So it is the separation of user logical memory from the physical memory. So this separation provides an extremely large virtual memory, where only a small physical, whereas we have only physical memory which is available. This is virtual memory. What is demand paging? Virtual memory is commonly implemented using the demand paging. Virtual memory, as we said, that virtual memory is allowing the processes to run even they have the memory is small and they are not able to be fed inside the memory. So because of the virtual memory, they are still able to run on the or executed by the your processor. So virtual memory is implemented using the via demand paging. In demand paging, the pager brings only those necessary pages into memory instead of swapping in a whole process. So if a process is there, the basic idea or the naive idea is to bring the process into your memory, that is the main memory, and allow it to run on the processor. But in the demand paging, what happens? It is not that. the pager brings only necessary pages into memory instead of swapping in a whole process. So apart from or rather than bringing all the part of the process, it will bring the whole process. Rather than whole process, it will bring the part of the process. So instead of swapping in a whole process, it will only bring the pages into the memory. So it avoids reading into memory pages that will not be used anyway. It avoids reading into memory pages that will not be used anyway, decreasing the swap time and the amount of physical memory which is needed. This is demand paging. What is lazy swapper? Lazy swapper. So rather than swapping the entire process into main memory, the lazy swapper is used. A lazy swapper never swaps a page into memory unless that page is required or asked for. What is pure demand paging? Pure demand paging. When starting execution of a process with no pages in the memory, when starting execution of a process with no pages in the memory, the OS operating system sets the instruction pointer to the first instruction of the process, which is on a non-memory resident page. The process immediately faults for the page after the page is brought into memory. The process continues to execute, faulting as necessary until every page that it needs is in actual memory, right? So at that point, it can execute with no more faults. So this scheme is called pure demand paging. Defines EAT, effective access time. What is effective access time? Consider P be the probability of a page fault, which lies between 1 and 0. Of course, we know that the probability is between 0 and 1. The value of P is expected to be close to 0. This value, that is, there will be only few page faults. The effective access time is given by 1 minus P into MA. MA is the memory access time plus P into page fault time. So memory access time and page access time. That is how we compute the effective access time, EAT, right? Define secondary memory. What is the secondary memory? Memory holds those pages that are not present in the main memory. So the secondary memory is usually a high-speed disk, or we call it as a stable storage. It is known as the swap device also, and the section of the disk used for this purpose is known as the swap space. Swap device, swap space. What is the basic approach of your page replacement? Basic approach of page replacement. If no frame is free, we find one that is not currently being used and we free it. There are various frames. Frames are not free. So we will try to build a technique, or we'll try and do something so that we make this frame free. So a frame can be free by writing its content to the swap space, as we just saw, secondary memory, and changing the page table to indicate that the page is no longer in the memory. Now this freed frame can be used to hold the page for which the page process has faulted. Page fault. What is the various page replacement algorithms used for page replacement? We have various page replacement algorithm we employ. This is FIFO page replacement, optimal page replacement, LRU page replacement, LRU least recently used. Least recently used approximation page replacement, counting based page replacement, and page buffering algorithm. What are the major problems to implement demand paging? Virtual memory is implemented by demand paging. This is one of the methods for implementing virtual memory. So the two major problems to implement demand paging is developing free frame or frame allocation algorithm and page replacement algorithm. What is a reference string? An algorithm is evaluated by running it on a particular string of memory. An algorithm is evaluated by running it on a particular string of memory references and computing the number of page faults. So the string of memory reference is called the reference string. So these were a few more questions on your operating system. We'll be taking more. Till then, thank you so much. Take care.